Bonjour! Happy Fête Nationale! In honor of the French national holiday, today I want to go through a few key differences between French and English in order to be better understood. The first thing that I want to look at is the oral posture, or the shape of the mouth as the sound passes through it. In French, oral posture is often quite rounded with the lips kind of trumpeting out. And it may feel as if the sound in French has to live right there at the level of the lips. In English, either American English or British English, the lips themselves may be a bit flatter and wider. The stereotype in the UK, of course, is the stiff upper lip. Don't move the lip. And the stereotype in the US is smiling too much. But I do think that both of these stereotypes carry a bit about what is happening with the oral posture in the accent. So for French speakers, it may be useful to think less about the lips and more about spreading and widening as opposed to keeping the lips round. The next thing that I want to talk about are consonants. The biggest consonant change is the letter R. In French, the letter R is made with the back of the tongue, as in a r, r. In English, oftentimes the letter R is actually made with the tip of the tongue, r, r. So that's a little bit of a change in terms of action. The next consonant that may be useful is the letter H. In French, the letter H is rarely pronounced. You have an H muet. Whereas in English, the H is normally pronounced, with some exceptions, but the H is pronounced as if you're fogging up a glass. Happy, hot, how. I somehow managed to get through this whole video and fail to mention the consonant TH. TH in English is made by passing the tongue in between the teeth, th or th. Try this sentence. The first thing that they think of is this. Moving into vowels, les voyelles. The trick with English is that English has a few vowels that French does not. So the main difference is the short I sound, as in a word like ship, bit, kit, split. These are real key differences, which can mean the difference between beach and bitch, or sheet and shit. So you see how it's kind of important that you get that sound right. The next thing that I want to talk about is the resonance of the languages. The resonance of the languages is incredibly different. French, it may feel like it's up behind the nose. And indeed, you have many nasal vowels, un. Whereas in English, it may feel like the resonance is living in the mouth or the throat. One thing that you can do is you can hold your nose and you can go yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And see if you can keep that sensation as you talk. It may feel like there's more buzz living in the mouth and the lips than there is actually up behind the nose. You may feel buzziness or vibration on the front of the face, bringing you into a more English language place as opposed to French language. The last thing I want to talk about is the music of the language. The music of both languages are incredibly different. So when moving from French into English, it is useful to take on some of those English rules. Most of all, the syllable stress. In French, there is l'accent tonique, the tonic accent, but that can change and move, and there's not a set rule. Whereas in English, most words have rules depending on which syllable gets stressed, and that can definitely change the meaning of the word. So it is important to start memorizing the syllable stresses as you learn the language. It may also be useful to listen to speakers of English and mimic them a bit, not in a making fun of them way, but in a conscious way, in a way to learn and hear and start to perceive the differences between French and English. Bah alors mes Français, merci beaucoup. Je sais que j'ai encore des choses à faire pour mon accent en français. Thank you, my French people. I know that I still have a little bit of work on my own accent in French, but I'm hoping that this will help you as you transition from French into English. Au revoir.